Good afternoon. Continuing our conversations about alchemy, the simulation, and how we intend to make this really engrossing for you, and uh, looking forward to not only engrossing you, but engaging you in the issues that the simulation suggests in terms of your own leadership growth and competencies. Let's continue. I'll try to keep it relatively short. The Giants are on later on, and I am a football person. And so here we go. And what I wanted to mention was the trip back to what we talked about yesterday, which was really necessary for you to really understand what that model is about, and to, quite frankly, take the role. And I'm going to talk about that more steadily in another video following this one. Take the role or roles that you're going to assume to be like the person behind you, so to speak, to be able to find the combinations of skills and theories and applications and good sense and good decision-making that all good leaders have instinctively and have also acquired hopefully through some good mentorships and through good experiences to wrap together into a new combination. In our case, we're talking about a futures-based change leadership combination. And we'll talk about that more specifically up the road as well. But before and now that I'm assuming that you've seen the challenge is for you to take a role within the model that we spoke about within District ABC with a variety of issues and problems that have to be overcome. That probably no one fell magic wand is going to make go away. However, what we're looking for is the capacity to do that. And the capacity to do that by way of group leadership and collective intent and will to coalesce collaboration is about finding the right combination and about becoming more nearly aware of the theories that and premises that I began to speak about insofar as the model was concerned. And so what we're going to do next is I'm just going to walk you through a little quiz that we're going to ask you to take. If you're doing this in a classroom, face-to-face, you merely will just take the little quiz that's next to that I'll show you in a moment, and that you will have in your Futures-Based Alchemist guide. Remember, that's what your name is now. You are Futures-Based Alchemists, to more nearly divide you into more specific theoretical specialties. And what you would do is just take the quiz, and then you'll either have someone score it for you, or you'll score it yourself. And then you'll pretty much find out where your areas of interest are, skills may be, and expertise may be as well. And what will happen next would be that the catalyst will assign you to a role that more nearly represents your strength. Sometimes those strengths become overloaded and we have to make some decisions about splitting the baby. But for the most part, we're going to be able to get you to a role that reflects your best interests and skill sets. If you're taking this online, we're going to have a way for you to take it online and then for it to be scored for you so that you'll come out knowing what your specialty is, or specialties are, and then we'll find a way to assign you the role that most nearly represents that premise as well. So looking at it from two corners. And I'm going to just walk you through the quiz. Here it is. And yes, it is very reminiscent, for those of you who are Harry Potter fans, of the old sorting hat ceremony in Hogwarts, which is where I took this from to some extent. I'm not going to read all of this to you, but I do want to show you I think there's something like 15 questions. And the questions have been validated to give you a chance to think about what your first impression may be. What's going to happen is you're going to take it from 1 to 5, from not at all to slightly all the way across to very strongly agreeing with whatever the statement may be. Don't try to parse the statements too specifically. It's not the end of the world if you see some gray in some of this. What we're trying to do is to see where you think that you sit instinctively in terms of your own philosophies and attitudes and dispositions about how you feel leadership should be. So I'm not going to read all 15 of them to you, but I'll just read the first 2 or 3 so that you can see where we're taking you on this. So to what extent, for example. Do you think that an organization's members must know the difference between what they think is its future its future will be, and what they want it to be? It's a very deep question, actually. He smiled, and I need you to think about that and see where you land on that one, from not at all to very strongly, because in fact, people whose viewpoints as individuals about the future are more different than people often realize. And that's what that question is designed to begin to split out among you. And then you may want to take it on another count and think about it, you as an organization. Does the organization think differently about future than you do? Which is another way to look at this. Here's a second question. I like to engage my colleagues in thinking about what drives our organization's success. Some leaders, by the way, I think, don't particularly worry about this issue. Others, on the other hand, would feel this critical to making sure that the whole with a W is in concert with each other to transform its school district or building. One more, and we'll leave it at that. You have great interest in what trends and data suggest for your organization's future. Are you looking at the world out there? Are you looking at Norman's Main Street? Are you looking at an economy, as I speak to you, that is in a fair amount of turmoil? Are you looking at the political and social drivers that are out there to see whether any of them, or to what extent those things will have as a bearing on your individual future and your group's future? So you can see where this is taking you. You're going to answer the 15 questions, and either, like I said before, you're going to score it by hand and give it to a Catalyst person who's running the simulation, or we're going to do it for you within the online approach. And we'll show you how we'll do that when we get to that. And in the end, remember now, what this is going to do is help you take the role. I can't emphasize that enough. I need you, we need you. We all need each other to take the role that you've been given on two levels. On the leadership level, whether you're going to be the pupil personnel director, our principal, the superintendent, a union leader, whether you're going to be the community politician, business person, the PTA president, and so forth. If you don't, the simulation largely depends on the extent to which you take the role and act within it. It's very critical. And the other piece of that, even more critically, I think, is that you recognize that because you've had this role assigned to you, you also have a specialty. And the specialties will be 5. We can make more, actually, but we're going to go with 5. In no order. I don't want you to think there's one more of an order than another. We're talking about a culture expert, a decision-making expert, a systems expert, a futurist expert, and a creative expert. All of those things will come to bear, and all of those things have equal weight in different places and different ways to make the stew all taste well, to make the alchemy transform, have the alchemists that you will be able to transform ABC from lead to gold. Enough said. I just wanted to use this quick video to emphasize how to take these particular quiz and how to connect what the results of the quiz will be for your role taking. Not as much as role playing, see he smiled, as role taking. Thanks so much.